guys. My name is Joanette. I'm past alum from Texas State. I graduated in 2011. My degree was actually in engineering, but I just took, I was really attracted to, the McCoy Business School, and I got interested in entrepreneurship, and I had been involved in CEO for about 2.5, 3 years while I was in school. So it was an awesome experience, and I'm really excited to be here today and see my mentor, Dr. Bell. So today I will be talking to you about an elevator pitch and what it is, and hopefully get you guys inspired to participate in the elevator pitch competition coming up. I don't know if it's next week or what. And for some of you that will be going to the CEO conference, and I'm just going to share with you my experience and why you should, maximize the opportunity to go as well. So, okay, so can you guys see it well? Yeah. Is it okay? Okay, so I'm sure you've heard of the term elevator pitch, and basically that concept came about where it's just an analogy. So just in case you were riding in an elevator and the CEO of the company steps in the elevator with you, and on your way to the top floor, what would you say to that CEO, and what idea would you sell to him within that first a minute or two? What would you say to him to catch his attention and make him want to invest in your idea? So that's where the idea of elevator pitch comes from. But you can use an elevator pitch in different scenarios, such as introducing yourself to someone, or if, let's say, you're attending a job fair, a career fair. I know Texas State has that a lot here. It's basically it's like a mini ad of yourself. You have to have a purpose of what you want to say, and you have to target it towards your audience, and that's basically your mini ad. So it should contain like little sound bites of what specifically is related to your audience, and you should have a purpose behind it. So that's basically what a pitch is. So an example of it would be, hi, my name is Joanette, I'm a student, yada, 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 and let's say I'm looking for a job, I would say, I'm interested in working, for Samsung or for your company because of X, Y, Z. And that's your icebreaker to get you in, get that conversation started. I passed out the rubric. I know you guys already might have a rubric, but that's the official CEO rubric that they use to score the elevator pitches. And I want to tell you about what the National Elevator Pitch Contest is about. So basically it's over 80 some schools or so that for nationwide that come to different parts such as Chicago, or last time it was Florida or wherever, and they meet, and it's basically geared to inspire students to start their own businesses. And I'm really proud that this is a really huge group, so I'm excited for you guys. I know only a selected few would go, but basically you have different students coming in, they're going to pitch their ideas, they're going to pitch what their CEO chapter has done over the years, and you have opportunities to win awards. It's a huge opportunity to network, and also you can even gain customers. So if you already started a business and you wanted to expand your base, you can form business partnerships, or you can gain more customers, and it's really great if you want to do like marketing. So if you have a business idea already, you can take your ads and you can take your memorabilia with you, and you can even pass it out. So it's a huge opportunity in that regard. The last time we went was, for example, some of the CEOs that I had the opportunity to meet was Mike Delazar, which is the founder of Redbox. And I met the CEO of Priceline.com, and we met the CEO of Keurig that invented the Keurig machine, and some others. So, which is just an example of, who we met. Oh yeah, we also met, I think, Gene Landry, who founded Chuck E. Cheese's. So, okay, so I gave you a quick breakdown of what an elevator pitch is, what the contest is about. So, I have a question. Who would like to pitch their business idea or pitch something about themselves? Just a quick minute. Any volunteers? Somebody? Okay, you raise your hand first. So just come down, and I need somebody. Timer, just your opportunity to just take a whack at it. Just go for it. So I need a timer. Does anybody want to?
90 seconds. Yeah.
Okay, so when you're ready, just tell her to go, and she's going to pitch in front of everybody.
Hello, my name is Natalie Gallardo. I am a small business owner. I have a business teaching science programs pre-K to 8th grade after school. Basically, that means that I go to different schools in San Antonio, San Marcos, and Austin, primarily based in San Antonio, and teach after-school programs in the top schools there. St. Mary's Hall, St. Luke's Episcopal, different private and public institutions, as well as ancillary programs during the school day. My programs are all experiment-based, and we do lab reports at the end of class. The age range, as I said, is pre-K to 8th grade, so as we're going up through the grades, the experiments are getting more difficult. They're having to do more labs, and they're having a lot more fun. Our science program basically tries to get kids involved at the earliest age possible, when really they're not doing lab work, and it gets them having fun. A lot of the students that I've had so far basically have been telling me that they want to become scientists now, that they want to become engineers, so it's having a bigger impact. We also work with the different schools so that we can supplement whatever program that they do have, and so that we can work with whatever grants, whatever parent pay or not pay options they need. So basically, my programs get tailored to the different school districts or home schools.
All right, you guys give your hands. Here's $5 just for trying. So, had I not been one, I would have been one. Okay, so lesson number 1. The reason why I had to come and volunteer in front of you guys is I want you guys to learn to seize the opportunity. There's so much you can get just by standing out and jumping out there and just taking a chance. You never know who you're going to be speaking to. You never know if somebody just might be interested in what you have to say and just might be an angel investor and want to invest in your business. So you should really stand out and speak, you know, on behalf of your ideas, and you should do what she did. Be enthusiastic about it and smile about it. And you don't have to be in selling mode, but just speak about it. And you never know who your audience might be. So I know you shouldn't be worried about, you know, what people's perceptions are, who might judge you. You know, that's okay. It's okay to be nervous, and you know, fear. What is it? Fear is good, but courage is not the absence of fear. So it might take practice, but you should learn to step out despite your fear and despite your nervousness. So where is she? What was her name? Natalie. So thank you, Natalie, for showing everybody what it is to seize the opportunity to come out and pitch and compete. So that was good. So I'm basically, I know not everyone has a copy of the rubric, but I'm going to go through it step by step on how to give a pitch and what the rubric grades on. So the first line says clearly identify self, company name, qualifications, and role in the company. So you should, a good icebreaker is saying, hello, my name is so-and-so, and I am the CEO or director of marketing or chief operating officer of this so-and-so business. So that's just a good icebreaker to begin with. You should clearly identify, you know, a problem and say why your business is pretty much going to solve it. So I know she came up and she expressed, you know, that there's a certain problem going on, and she believes that her business is going to solve that problem. So that was good. It provides relevance to your business. Why is it needed? Why do it anyway if it's not going to solve a problem? So that's really necessary. So, okay, so identify your market niche, size, and the opportunities. So basically, who is your target market? You know, is it going to be kindergarten children? Is it young people? Is it an older demographic? You know, what is the geographical size? What are you going to use to sell your product? Is it vehicle-based? Are you going to open a store? Will your product be in demand? So that is really important. And this is where you really need to do your research and have numbers. numbers is really going to sell your idea. I'm not saying you should cook up something and come with something phony, because when they start asking you, you need to be able to support your argument. But numbers and statistics say is really necessary. You can say this statistic of people have XYZ problems, and this is where my company can solve our problem. So that's really good. You should identify your key competitors and stated competitive advantage. So you need to say why you are better than your competitors. So, for example, some things such as selling jewelry. A lot of people sell jewelry. Why would they want to buy your jewelry? My jewelry is made from, natural stones, natural gems, whatever. You need to say what your competitive advantage is, and you need to make it sound interesting enough so that they'd be interested in your business idea. Alright, so the bottom line, they need to know how much money you're going to make. If you're going to pitch a business idea to an angel investors, they need to hear numbers and they need to hear ROI, which is your rate of return. So they need to hear numbers. So this is where your research should come in. So I'm saying so a lot. But this is necessary because you're going to have to provide numbers. You're going to have to say within XYZ years, this is the return that I'm expecting from my business, and you can bank on it that this is what you're going to get back. So what's next? The identified milestones. So that is necessary because it really helps to sell your business idea, especially if you're just starting out or if you already started your business. It's good to say, hey, I've done this before, and this is what I've done for XYZ months. This is how much we've made in XYZ months. So this is why you should invest in your business. Whereas if it's a startup, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a startup, but if you're creating a product from scratch, you're gonna have to, your pitch is gonna have to be geared to sell that. It's more, I would say it's easier if you've already started a business and made some money off it to pitch it to an angel investor, but it doesn't matter. The bottom line is you need numbers, and they're really interested, even more so than your idea, is if your business is profitable. So that's a huge question that the angel investors ask their family. They want to know, is this profitable, or else we want to give you money to start it or to expand. Okay, and I went over the investment. Okay, so I participated, I won the Texas State Elevator Pitch Contest here when I competed in 2010, and I was able to go to Chicago with our team and represent the school there nationally and compete with other schools there. So it was taped, the experience was taped, it was semi-devastated. I didn't win, I dropped out, but I would like you guys to actually get to see it. I wonder if we have.
Hello, my name is Joanette from College Travel. As you know, business is global. However, 90% of students are graduating from college with little understanding of how business operates outside the U.S. Did you know that only 4% of students are participating in study abroad programs? Maybe it's because it costs more than $5,000 per semester. College Travel addresses the need to expose students to global business for only $1,200. College Travel works with professors where students will get to spend 1 week in another country. They will plan career experience so that students can men will be learn in other countries so they can apply the concepts that they learn in class to an international market. They will get to observe businesses within their field of study and observe how they operate overseas, and also they'll get to have fun. Let's use Jamaica for example. The visit to Jamaica will cost $1,200. This includes hotel, flights, vehicle rentals, tours, and sightseeing. Not to mention one professor who will recruit the students and travels for free. My business uses a 50% markup and nets $3,000 per trip. Initially, College Travel will plan 3 trips per month. That's $90,000 per year. I'm asking for an initial startup investment of $20,000 in return for 10% of the business. My ROI will be 20% after the first 2 years, and I will use the money for marketing and train one assistant, and also here's my contact information. Thank you.
Okay, so can anybody, I won't get this. Can anybody tell me what was wrong with my speech? Can I have some opinions?
I felt like there was too many numbers personally. Like I wanted to hear more about like just your business in general. I know you said use numbers, but it just seemed like whoa.
Right, I was rambling there. Any other opinions?
It didn't flow. It kind of got chopped up a bunch.
Yeah. The number one reason why I dropped out was because it wasn't natural, because I sounded very rehearsed. So I did have a speech, did memorize it word for word, and I focused on remembering my words instead of just speaking, just having a conversation. And when I work with Jamie, I don't know how many of you guys know Jamie here, but when I had the opportunity to coach her, I would always tell her, just talk to me. Yes, you have to remember your words, but it's not all about the words. Just convey your business idea, just remember your speech, and then just talk to me. So that was the number one thing I believe that messed me up, because it didn't sound natural. So I was focusing on words that I had to say, and I began to ramble because I was timed, and I didn't want them to cut me off. And so I was trying to get the speech out instead of just talking to the panel. So I want you guys to see when Jamie did it. So Jamie did it 2011. That was her first time, and then she went back again last year, and that with the same pitch, and she actually got 3rd place nationally. So that was really good. So she had 2 times. She had to go 2 times to perfect it.
Some of us watch TV shows right now, the American Idol and Dancing with the Stars. Singing isn't that easy to learn, but dancing is enthusiastic. 1 again, 2, 3, and 4. I've been practicing and performing for over 10 years, but as I get older, the opportunity to dance is a lot smaller. Feet on Fire provides adults of all ages with skills and techniques with various styles of dance to empower their bodies through movement. We have a diversified group of experienced instructors that teach all levels of ballroom, salsa, country western, even breakdancing and belly dancing, and of course, hip-hop, jazz, ballet, and tap. Classes start at $15 per person per class and decrease by purchasing class bundles. For example, a bundle for 20 classes is $220 instead of $300. I projected a profit of $9,600 per month, which is over $115,000 a year, and that's just with the minimum pay students per class. I fully expect this to grow after the first month when we begin offering more classes per week and specialty events such as hip-hop and heels and 80s throwback. I'm asking for $100,000 to cover 6 months operating capital, building renovations, equipment, and advertising, and project a return on investment of 12% after 1 year. Feet on Fire, igniting the flame from your feet to your heart.
Okay, so she did move on to the next round, so I don't want to hear the next one. Everybody tell me what she did right, what you think she did right.
She had like a good concluding statement.
Yeah. And it flowed better, right?
Yeah, she was very.
She sounded confident when she was talking. She
Yeah.
had confidence in her.
Yeah. That was her biggest selling point. Oh, do go ahead.
She sounded very positive. Like you could hear her smiling
Yeah.
as she was talking about it.
Yeah, and that was her biggest selling point in the competition, because she went up against people that might have had better ideas. Her idea is a dance studio, and she moved on because she was convinced that her idea was the best. So that it just goes to show that, you know, don't focus on the speech so much. Just be confident in your business, be excited about it, and then give your speech to your business. And
She made the audience feel involved to you know,
Right,
certain degree
right.
when she did her little dance
the
move.
way she did her, yeah, when she did her little dance move, that was good. Yeah, she made everybody excited about what she did. So, despite whether it's profitable or not, that was what helped her move on to the next round. She was excited about her idea. So, the second important part is body language, and this is really important. And I say this will make or break your pitch. So, going back to the rubric where it says prepared versus gaps in content. So, basically you need to know your stuff. It's gonna help you tie your pitch together even better when you actually know about your business and you know what to put into your speech to get people to invest in it. So, and what I mean by prepared versus gaps, so when they have Q&A after your pitch, they're gonna ask some pretty tough questions. They're gonna ask how you're gonna make your product, who you're gonna sell it to, how do you know you're gonna make this and that much money. And so if you haven't done your research, it can really hurt you, whereas Q&A could hurt you despite the fact that you did an awesome elevator pitch. So you really need to come prepared. And when I mean prepared, you don't cook up ideas, because once they can tell, you know, if it's fake or not, if it's genuine or whether you've done your homework. Good posture versus a slouching appearance, and this is really good. I've seen it, you know, over and over again, where it really helps you to enunciate your words when you have your shoulders back instead of, you know, slouching, and it really helps with your confidence when you're ready to give your pitch. Good movement versus frozen in space. So one thing you see with Jamie's pitch, and maybe even mine, is that she used her space. And so you can stand, you know, stationary, but it would help even more if you were fluid. So one good way to warm up when you're getting ready to give your speech is to, you know, exercise, stretch, do something, and always, you know, I mean, we have Toastmasters at the job that I'm at, and so they teach you to pay attention to your space right here, this box right here. So you can give your speech, you can move around, and when you're getting ready to give important talking points, you can reach out. Like, say if I did this over 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, this percentage, what I'm saying, when you reach out, it helps bring home the point that you're making instead of staying stationary. So this is fine, but remember your box. But when you're ready to make a point, you can step out or you can reach or say something. So this is just a really good tip that they gave us. Good eye contact versus staring at the floor. One tip that Jamie and I had to really go over is if you're really nervous at looking at people, which is a problem I have as well, is that you can look at the tops of their heads. So instead of staring at the floor, staring at the ceiling or wherever, if you need to make eye contact with, you know, people in your panel and people in the room, you can look at the top of their heads instead of looking right at them, which is going to help you keep your nerves in control. So, good voice projection versus, you know, listener having to strain to hear what you're having to say. So sometimes if you're in your pitch, it's very good not to sound too monotone. That could really hurt your speech. If you have something to say and if you want to bring a point home, you can raise your voice like this and catch your audience's attention. Sometimes it helps to even get the nerves out. When you say something really loud, it helps you to get your nerves out. Let's see, good enunciation versus the listener trying to decipher words. So this is really important because if you start to ramble and then, you know, throughout the whole pitch you're just rambling, you didn't get the information out because no one could hear what you were saying, and so that would be a really big waste of time. So you should learn to open your mouth and say it. Like, say your speech, and be mindful of your words too if you tend to, you know, ramble sometimes. Confidence versus confusing delivery, and, you know, you can take an example from Jamie. You just be excited about what you have to say, be confident about it, and think that my idea is pretty great, and I need to tell them what it is and why it's so awesome. So that would really help. with your confidence, and preparation will help with your confidence as well. Convincing work versus weak persuasive arguments. So once again, if you do your research, it will help you sound more convincing. If you research, this is my ROI, this is, how much I expect to make, this is how much it's going to cost me to make the product. You need to do that legwork, and that's really going to make your business pitch sound more convincing. And so, creative versus template delivery. So the last thing, I don't know if it's allowed, but it's quite important because you don't want to sound boring. It's a speech, it's 90 minutes long, you don't have to do anything crazy, but you also need to make it interesting to your audience, and you have to tailor it, so you can't do anything, that might be a little bit offensive. So for one example, at the CEO conference, there was this girl that was marketing a phone strap. It's called Party Posh, and she actually lifted up her skirt in the speech to show, the phone case that wraps around the thigh, the girl's thigh, just so they don't have to go to the club with their purse. They can just put the phone in there.
Was she on Shark Tank? I saw that on Shark Tank. She was
Really?
like, yeah, she was.
Is she gone?
Yeah, she went out. You know what I'm talking about though, where they go and they do the pitch. She was on there and she was like, she was watching. She was.
I haven't seen Shark Tank, but did she do that?
Yeah, that was the girl.
Party Posh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did she get it? Yeah. So that's just.
I don't remember. She had it was something about when they started asking the second line of questions, like you were saying about if her production was going to be up to, yeah, the Q&A, I think she had some problems. I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago, but.
Fall short there. Yeah. But the point of what I'm saying is you need to be careful of that, especially who your audience is, because if it's I can understand maybe a younger crowd, but if it's like an older group, you don't want to do anything offensive. So you have to make your pitch interesting, but you have to be mindful and be wise about who your audience is. So what happens after the competition? And this is really important because everybody hypes up, the CEO conferences come out, and then afterwards it just fizzles out and nothing is done throughout the rest of the term. So for those of you who are going, I would say, focus on strategic networking, because it's just over the course of 3 days, and I've gone 3 times, and I just want to say you have to focus on who you want to meet, because you can meet anybody, it's people, it's anybody, but you need to have a plan of what you want after you come back. What do you want? Do you want to start your business when you come back? Do you want a business partner? Do you want customers? Do you want to expand on business? Do you need a whole list of, members, people sign up, people, maybe some blogs, something, anything? What do you want? And so go to the conference with that in mind and meet those people, because you'll be meeting everybody, and then Sunday will roll around and then you have to go home, and then you're like, what happened? Not much, see, because you wasted that money and you didn't focus on who you needed to meet. So be strategic when you're networking and become inspired, because you're going to be meeting a lot of business people. I want to tell everybody to go to the sessions, learn, get an autograph book, meet somebody, go to lunch and talk to people that you don't know. And when I was talking to you earlier about the mini app, an icebreaker, hey, this is who I am, my mini pitch. It would be really good to, you meet different people, because if you go and you just hang out with the people that you can miss out on great opportunities. So, for example, when I started my business, I had the opportunity to meet a guy that built my website, from scratch for a lot cheaper than what it normally costs. So that's just my 2 cents on that. And what else? Yeah, and follow up with it.
Oh, are you going to tell us about your business? Because most
My
people don't know
business?
about it.
My business, Culture Tours. So I'm Jamaican, so I started a business with my family called Culture Tours. And so basically it's a business where we take students abroad. It's kind of like a study abroad program. But we take them abroad and we expose them to different things about Jamaica, and then they can take that, what they've learned, their experience back, they can write essays about it or whatever, and possibly get credit for their experience in Jamaica. So it started, And then I recently got a job, I'm working now, so it has been put on hold, yes. So, you know, hopefully we'll pick that back up, but yes, I did start, we did build a website, we did have a base of people, but we didn't reach the part where we were actually selling to ourselves.